Well, hi everyone. Welcome back to the Living at Home Network platform user training. This is training video number 2. Today we're going to be covering areas of communications and meetings and events set up in your data bank. As with the previous training video, I just want to briefly go over the structure of the platform. There are 3 main areas that the Living at Home Network platform will be used. The first is your website, where you'll have donation forms, meeting events calendar with registration forms, a subscription form for people to sign up to receive various types of communications with you. And then there is a form builder tool where you can create your own online forms. The second interface into the data bank is the portal. This is a tool that's been developed specifically for the Living at Home Network to manage your service activities. This is where you'll enter new service requests, match those service requests up with the appropriate volunteer, and then see an overview of service activities over time. Eventually, this will also be where you'll enter in new participant and volunteer information. And the portal will be covered in a future training video. And then the third area is the DataBank Nonprofit CRM, where all of the data resides specific to all of your stakeholders. They could be donors, participants, volunteers, allied organizations, or other stakeholders where you want to track and manage interactions with your organization. And there's also an integrated communications hub, which will be one of the topics that we're going to cover in this training video. In addition, we'll be dealing with some of the online form stuff when we talk about meetings and events and subscriptions. So what are we going to cover in this training? 2 main areas, communications and meetings. And along with that, we'll be talking about help and support options to help you use these various tools as well. All right, so with that, let's jump in and take a look at the data bank and get going on the communications stuff. So here we are, logged into the member organization sample, which is again is our sample organization that we've created for the Living at Home Network platform in order to do these training videos. Just a reminder, the data in this sample database is not real, although some of it is, such as my record here as well. I also want to point out that if you already have access to your data bank, it'd be a great idea for you to log into that now and follow along with me as I go through the various things that I'm going to be talking about. I also want to point out that these training videos are designed to really give you a overview of functionality in the platform, not to go into detailed specifics about how to set up and use each of the functions. Those are available in other training and support resources that we have here at the data bank, which I will show you and talk about as we go along here. So today we're going to talk about communications first and the various communication tools. So let's go over here to the navigation on the left-hand side, click on the communication tab, and here you'll see a list of various communication tools that are integrated, built into the data bank. The first we're going to cover today is PowerMail. I'll click on that. PowerMail is our integrated bulk email tool, which we've built, probably some 20 years ago, first integrated into the data bank. You may, already be using an email tool like MailChimp or Constant Contact, which is great. Hopefully you've given us that data that we can load into the data bank here, and you can start using PowerMail as an integrated communications tool. One of the big advantages of having an integrated tool like this as opposed to working with an external tool like MailChimp or Constant Contact is there's no need to move data back and forth between the various tools. In addition, not only will you see who received emails, who clicked on links, all of the relevant contact points in your email communications within that contacts record, but it'll also be merged with all of the additional contact information, such as their donations, if they're participants or volunteers, their service activities, those types of things. So this will give you a very complete 360-degree understanding of each of your contact records, interactions within with your organization. So here we are in the PowerMail uh, issues page, and this is where you're going to have links to various PowerMail issues that you've created. Being this is a demonstration database, we really haven't created many. I want to point out that these folders here, you can create folders for different types of communications. This templates folder will be in all of your systems, and we preload the system with a number of templates for you to start with if those are helpful. You can also create your own templates within the system as well. So take a look at these templates and you can scan through them and see if there's ones that look like a good starting point for you. If there is, you click on that template. This will give you a preview of what that looks like. Obviously, it's just kind of a shell. And then when you go to the properties page here, create a duplicate of that template. In fact, we'll do that right now. I'll create it, and then I'm going to name it something else. That way, we aren't going to be changing the template when we start to make edits with this. We're changing now. We're editing a new issue within this. So now if I go back here, in fact, let's move this to an e-news folder. We'll submit that. So now if I go back to the issues, I go to the e-news, you'll see that new issue is right there in that folder. All right, so that's creating a new issue, looking at the templates. And now let's look at how do you edit and eventually send a email communication. So click on the issue's name, come here, it's going to give that preview again. Click on properties. This is where you will add some specifics to this email communications. You want to put in a subject line. Of course, subject line is key to getting your email message opened. This pre-header box, I'm not going to go into detail here. If you click on this information icon, it'll give you additional information about why you might want to use a pre-header. Internal description is for your own understanding of what this email issue is about. Sender name is important, and sender email address. It needs to be a valid email address in here. This is who the recipient will see as who this was sent from, and their email address. The email, if they choose to reply to the email, it'll go back to this sender email address. And then you can put this issue in a specific folder or create a new folder. This sharing image, again, I'm not going to go into detail about it. You can click on this information icon, but basically it has to do with how you share these issues on your social media sites. I'll go in a little more detail about that when we get to the publish area. Okay, so when you made changes here, again, remember, when you're in the data bank, you made changes within a form, always make sure to hit submit in order to save those changes. So now once you've done that, the next step would be to start working on the design of your PowerMail issue. And this is where you'll go to the drag and drop editor tool. Now, if you are familiar with MailChimp or Constant Contact, they have very similar types of interfaces. In fact, MailChimp uses the same exact edit tool that we do here as well. So go through, make your changes, additions, those types of things you want. I'm not going to go into any detail here about how to edit or manage these PowerMails. Just want to point out that we do, I'll jump over here to our client training schedule, and I'll mention this again, mentioned in video 1, that we do regularly scheduled online trainings about various aspects within the data bank. Any data bank user is free to sign up to attend these trainings. We do them on a rotating schedule. We have a whole series of them starting here, as you can see, in April 1st. And if we scroll down here, you can see there's one on email design in PowerMail, which will go specifically into using the editor tool that we're looked at, give you much more detail on that. And then a second one specific to PowerMail, sending and tracking emails. So if you want to get more detailed training on the PowerMail tool, I encourage you to go here to our website and sign up for those. In addition, click over here to our support center. Again, our support center is accessible through the help menu in your data bank. And if we go down here, see there's a PowerMail area. You click on that and you'll see numerous dozens of articles specific to PowerMail, how to set up PowerMails, how to use the drag and drop editor, which is what we're looking at here. Subscriptions and A/B testing we'll get into just a little bit. So there's a lot of additional resources to help you to use this PowerMail tool much better than I could do for you at this point in time. So this is where you will make your edits and changes to the to your email issue. Once you're done with that, um, there's some tools built in here to do some analysis on your email. One is a spam analysis tool. You can see there, you click over to that and it'll run through and look to see if there are any issues with the email that you've created that could be potentially blocked by spam tools within the recipient's email program. In addition, there's some display analysis functions here, which are really helpful. I want to point out that today, in today's age, the vast majority of people that are looking at your email are looking at the email on their phones. And this might even be true with the senior population as well, increasingly so. They're using their phones to not just look at email, but to respond to emails. So whatever you're sending out as an email issue, you want it to be look good in a cell phone. This display analysis will help you see render what your email is going to look like if somebody's on an iPhone or a Pixel or a Samsung phone, those types of things. So something to be thoughtful of. In addition here, with each of these issues, you can create a tell a friend link. This will put a button on the email going out that your recipient can click on, and then they can enter in some additional email addresses to forward this email onto. So once you make sure that everything's set that you want to, and you want to send out your PowerMail issue, you click on the publish link. This is give you several options here. The first one is to send a test message to yourself or to others. Really encourage you before you send it out to a selection of records in your data bank to see what this looks like yourself. So send yourself a test message, send some other colleagues a test message to make sure everything looks fine before you publish this out. Second thing is you can publish any of these email issues to a web page. You can compile those. You can create an archive, for instance, of e-newsletters that are accessible through the web to users as well. You can even use this as a way to create and post blog posts if that's something that you're interested in doing. The next thing is that you can create links on your social media properties to these messages. This is where that image form on the properties page comes into play because the image that you set there is the image that people are going to see on your social media properties promoting this particular issue. So if you use social media and you want to post it there, that's as well. So now when you're ready to send this newsletter out, the first thing is that you can send to a selection of records, which you need to do prior to coming here. Or if in the properties you've assigned this to a particular publication, and we'll get into publications in just a little bit, you can just say, yeah, send it to anyone who's subscribed, in this case, to the email newsletter. And then you can also send it immediately, or you can schedule this to go out at a specific time. And then once it's been sent, this results page, since it hasn't been sent, there's nothing here, but this results page will show you who was sent the email issue, who opened it, who clicked on linked to, let's say you send out an invitation to register for an event. It'll show how many people clicked on that link to go to the registration page. If there's any bounces related to email address, those types of things. So all of your various metrics on the email issue are going to show up here in the results page. All right, so real quickly, that's an overview of the PowerMail tool. Really encourage you to familiarize yourself with this tool. It's very powerful. Also, this is not a tool designed to replace your Gmail account or your Microsoft account or those types of things where you're sending personal emails back and forth to people. This is a bulk email tool designed to send to a group of individuals on specific topics, or like we looked at here in the newsletter. So in addition to creating the PowerMail itself, there's a couple of other tools specific to PowerMail that I want to briefly touch. Again, I'm not going to go into detail about those. But the first is automations. And automations is a way where you can create a series of emails to be automatically sent to people based on a specific activity that they do. For instance, if someone comes to your website and makes a donation, and you'd like to create a series of 2 or 3 emails that would be sent automatically to that person after they've made that donation, this is where you would create that series of emails to be sent out to folks. Perhaps the first one is a day or so after the donation, again thanking them for the donation. A couple weeks later, you can send one saying, hey, you'd be interested in doing another donation or something like that. So these automations, a way for you to create automated communication activities to go out to your various stakeholders. Again, there's more information in the Support Center about automations. The second additional tool specific to PowerMail is what we call A and B tests. This is really designed if you're going to send, let's say, a fundraising email out to 1,000 people, and you want to make sure that whatever you send to them is going to get opened. So one way to do that is to create a couple of instances of the email you want to send, but create different subject lines, and then send a sample, send that both of those out to a sample of your 1,000 records, let's say 100 records in each sample. Then once that's sent out, you'll have the statistics on which of those 2 emails generates more opens. And then you can send the email with the best subject line out to the remainder of the list. So that's A and B testing. It's really a marketing function to help increase responses to your various email communications going out. All right, so those are the email and PowerMail tools. Next, I want to touch on the SMS announcement function. This is a way to send out quick text messages out to selected records within your data bank. I want to note, and I mentioned this in the previous training video also, that if someone, as a nonprofit organization, if somebody gives you their cell phone number, freely gives that to you, that automatically opts them in to receiving email, text communications from you. This is a federal law. It's specific to nonprofit organizations. You don't have to go through a second opt-in process. Again, they just give you their cell phone number that automatically opts them into receiving text messages from you. Of course, you can do an opt-in process as well if you feel that's appropriate. And of course, then you also need to make sure that if someone says they unsubscribe from receiving those text messages, that you follow through with that as well. But this is where you can create a text message. You can, again, test sending this message to your own cell phone, so you see what it looks like, those types of things. And there is a slight cost for sending text messages. If you click under terms and conditions, it'll show you information about that. All right, so that's the text messaging function. Another communication tool here is mail merge. So this is great if you're doing direct mail, thank you letters, or a direct mail solicitation. A lot of organizations will do like an annual appeal where they'll print out letters and mail them to a specific list of recipients. Here we've got some templates in here as well to help you get going with this. For instance, here's an end of the year tax summary template. This is great if you're sending out a something at the end of the year to let someone know how much they've given over the year for tax purposes. See, we've populated with some existing field information. Now, to edit this letter, you click on Edit. It's going to give you this Word-like interface where you can edit this. Obviously, you need to change things in here as well. And then once you're done with that, and you want to run the mail merge, you click on this Finish and Merge. It's going to work with the selection of records you currently have in your data bank. So make sure you select the records that you want to merge first. Select some of the variables on here. Now you can output this as a Word document, which is really nice, especially if you feel like you need to download this to your computer and make some last minute changes before printing them out, that type of thing. And then hit save, and it will create the mail merge for you. So another great tool, especially if you're doing direct mail communications. There's also a mailing label function in here where you can create mailing labels if you need those to attach to envelopes and those types of things going out as well. And then the final thing I want to cover here under communications is publications. And publications are, you set up different types of publications for different types of communications that you want your stakeholders to subscribe to. And you can create as many different publications as you want within this. You can see we've got a few here that in the sample database that I've created shows you how many people are subscribed to those, a newsletter, general announcement, an email newsletter. Again, these are just some samples of different types of publications that you can set up. Then once you've created those publications, you'll have a subscription form that's set up for you, and those publications can appear on that subscription form where stakeholders can opt into various types of communications for you. They can also opt in, unsubscribe to those communications as well. So publications and subscriptions work hand in hand. The publications are what your contacts subscribe to. Again, more information on this in the support center. All right, so there we go. That covers kind of the basic functions of the communications functions within the data bank. Next, I want to go through meetings. And each of you have been set up with meeting capability within your data bank. This allows you to create meetings that can get posted on a calendar on your website, including registration forms for people to register for various meetings. Again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here. I'm just going to do an overview. There are much more detailed information within PowerMail, and also in the client training. I just want to point out that there are 2 trainings on the client training the end of April, beginning of May, specific to the meetings and events tool. So you want to check those out and perhaps sign up for those. So here in the meetings tool, I'm going to go to the list first because that's going to show you what meetings you currently have set up in your system. Here I've got a couple of sample ones set up. So for instance, if I click on this beginner yoga, it's going to show me a registration form specific to that activity with all the details that I've entered in here in the properties area. the fields that people should input here in order to register for this specific meeting. Properties is going to be the area where you're going to set up all your specifics to this meeting and event. Again, a lot of different options in here. You should acquaint yourself through the support articles how to use these specific parts. Options I'm not going to go into. Payments, I'll just mention that you can create a meeting or event that requires a registration but no payment. You can also create one that requires registration and a payment. So if you have meetings and events where the participants need to pay, you can create that as well here in the payments area. It will then, once they've registered, it will then ask them to pay for the meeting event, or they would use their credit card or ACH in order to pay for that activity. Next is reminders. And this is an area where once people are signed up for an event, it's easy for you to send out an email reminder to people prior to the event, just reminding them about the activity. And then this report areas where you can see who's registered for the event, when they registered, and you can also uh, identify by each contact whether they attended or fulfilled the event, or if they canceled. Confirmed will always show once they register. So one of the ways that clients will use this tool is, say at the event, they have a list of registrants, they'll bring their iPad, they'll pull up this uh, form on their iPad, and as people come in to attend the event, they'll identify that they have fulfilled. This way, you'll have a detailed record of not only who registered, but who actually participated or attended the event as well. All right, so that's the meetings tool. Add a meeting is to create a new one, of course. Search is if you have previous meetings or meetings out in the future that you want to look at that aren't showing up in the list page here, because this is only going to show meetings for the next 30 days. I also want to point out that in this summary table right here, we see the specifics of the event. Was it paid or not? And when you set up your meeting, you can create the specific number of people that can register, and this will track how many people have registered, and then the various statistics on how many people attended, how many people fend, if people canceled, those types of things will all show in here as well. All right, so that's the meetings tool. We went over the communications tools. Again, I want to point out that if you need more information on these tools, which I suspect you will because I kind of just did a general overview of these, certainly look at our help functions, go to our support center, look at our trainings. By the way, we use the data bank ourselves. So here on our website, these are all meetings and event activities that we set up in our data bank to post them on the website. If I click through to this, you'll see it gives me additional information about that. And then I can click here to register for this event. The nice thing here is someone can click on several trainings and just do one registration to attend all of those trainings. So again, something that you can do in your meetings and events tool as well. And you can see we have various things here where people can share these events and they can also add them to their calendar to make it very easy. All right, well, that's user training 2. We covered communications and meetings, talked about some of the ways that you can get additional training and support to help you in using these tools. I hope you find this valuable. Please don't hesitate to reference back to this training video if you have additional questions, or use our support tools to find out more information. All right, then. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this training. We'll have some additional trainings available for you on different aspects of the data bank soon. Take care. Bye bye.